Making the alien cosplay has been a dream of mine for many years. After last year's Sci-Fi Weekender, I threw together a sketch of something that I would like to put together. The next step after the sketch, and you don't need a sketch, you could use something online, but is to print that out at size. Now I've got a volunteer to draw around my form whilst it was pinned up on the wall like that. Next step is to make a pattern from that printout with my form over it. Large sheet of polythene from the DIY store for a couple of quid, and lay the drawing out on a flat surface. Lay the polythene sheet over it, and you can see I've got my sketchbook there as well, so that I can just hold on to the details. And now I can redraw the key line work, adjust it as necessary, because now my physical size is also on that drawing as well, on the underlying drawing. Meaning I can shape things to suit so that they're going to fit me perfectly. The key material in the alien build was upholstery foam, and this can be quite expensive to buy, but what I did find was, given the area I live in, was a lot of abandoned sofas, and you'd be surprised what you can find by just wandering around a few ropey looking areas, and with a Stanley knife and a will to get that foam out. So you're going to, for a big build like this, to keep that weight light, and it did get pretty heavy in the end, but to keep the weight light, upholstery foam was key to the organic forms. The other consideration you've got to make is the space in which you need to work. As you can see from this photo, my studio looked quite decimated for a period of time, as I started transferring the pattern onto the pieces of foam, and you can see in the tail area there, cutting out the foam using sharp knives and electric knife as well, like bread cutter knife was an ideal tool for hacking through some of the bigger chunks of foam in the rough way, before doing the more detailed work with sharp knives, sharp blades. So once the core blocks of foam have been cut out, the next step is to start the detailing. And here you can see me working on the head. You can see I've added another layer of detail with a thinner foam, and then glue is applied over that whole form, Evo Stick impact adhesive. And then you can see that I'm layering this very thin 2mm foam, the kind of foam you get in packaging, very cheap to buy off eBay, a big 50-meter roll. It was more than enough to do the entire alien. And the whole alien build is done this way now, adding these details and then adding this skin over the top of those details using this 2mm foam. It created a great texture, really leathery skin-like feel, and it meant I didn't have to worry too much about my ability to carve the foam in a more sculpted way. It also produced these great wrinkles when it was glued down, which really made it look even more organic. So the whole of the alien build really went this way. You can also see them applying some ribbed piping there as well, which was bought from an aquarium supplies for the filter pumps that are used in outdoor ponds. So here's just a quick look at what the core body structure looked like prior to doing any of that skinning. You can see all of the sort of surface details added with additional bits of foam. And this is the various glues, impact adhesives, PVA and upholstery spray. So this was the first test run of the costume itself. The lower legs have been attached to this body stocking using upholstery glue. The torso is a framework that you kind of slide up into, almost like a waistcoat, and to that the tail and the spine and the neck area are all built onto that framework. The head itself clips down onto the top of that neck using the kind of clips you get on rucksacks. And the feet are separate. They've got a pair of trainers inside them, so you just kind of slip the feet on as you would your shoes. The whole costume had been sealed with a PVA glue. You can see it's raining here. We discovered that PVA glue was not waterproof. It should have been. It did lead to a couple of problems, but they were resolved. After this test run, the next step is to coat the whole thing with latex rubber, which smells a lot. Caused some watery eyes in the studio for a day or two. So there were 2 coats of latex put onto this costume at this stage before getting ready with the paint. So you can see here I just used pound shop paint, and you can see the latexing in the background as well, which I've got to say I think looked pretty cool. It's a good job I only used pound shop paint because I ended up needing an awful lot more paint than had been planned for. And here is the what looks like an alien autopsy laid out in the studio, all sprayed up and ready to put together once again and get a final full dress rehearsal at the event it was all done for. You've got a plan to get in and out of these costumes, so having a good team around you that can help you is definitely worth consideration. Once you're in, of course, then it's just a case of being comfortable, being prepared, and for a long day, and go and enjoy it. And indeed, Sci-Fi Weekender 2018 we definitely really enjoyed. Here's a little bit of footage from the actual cosplay competition itself.
Corporal Darren, turn on the light switch. That's how it's done.
So there you have it. That was me making this beast and really enjoying every minute of it, really loving figuring out how to build something like this and getting to enjoy it and the response of people around me or around us as the team. Having now done it, I really want to be able to share the knowledge that I accrued building this alien and share that with you with more in-depth video, cosplay builds, prop making builds that I intend working on over the next few months. You can help support that through my Patreon account, which you will see the link come up just down here. Check my social media for my Facebook page, which is currently live, my YouTube channel, which is currently live, and I'm hoping to start a Twitch live stream as well, which will focus very much so on this kind of build. along with the prop making and the terrain gaming boards that I put together. So yeah, just check out my social media, and hopefully you will find stuff that's going to entertain you, stuff that's going to educate you, and thank you for all of your support. Wow.